Janie, first question here in the front.
Hi, Kyle.
How are you?
Good, how are you? Janie McCauley from AP. The Warriors and the NBA have both suspended, the man who shoved you ended up being a minority owner of the team, and everybody on the Warriors is crediting you for the way you handled that situation. A day later, can you kind of take us through it, and do you appreciate the reaction quickly from all sides?
First of all, I want to thank the Warriors for the statement they issued, and in the NBA also. It's just, what our league's about and protecting the players. And like I said last night, there's no room for in our game for that. In that situation, I don't think I could have handled it any better. I'm glad I did what I did, and understanding that, things could have been a lot different if I reacted a different way, or if I did something, or put my hands on them, or did anything in that nature. But the support I've gotten from fellow players, the league, has been unbelievable. With that being said, I think more should be done. I don't think he's not a good look for the ownership group that they have, and I know Joe Lacob. Those guys are great guys. The ownership that they have, that I know, they're unbelievable guys. But a guy like that showing his true class, and he shouldn't be a part of our league. There's just no place for that.
Jeff, standing on the right.
Jeff Zilgate, USA Today. Kyle, since it went a little sideways last night, could you confirm what the guy said to you to go blank yourself? Is that accurate?
Yeah, multiple times.
And then in that situation you were just talking about, how did you keep your cool?
Understanding at the moment my team needed me. Understanding that there are plenty of fans and kids in the world watching this game. And me being a grown man, having kids myself, and I'm a grown man, and my kids could always go back and see that. And anywhere other situation, if it wasn't, in this situation, things may have been, they probably would have been done differently, handled differently by me. But understanding that, like, I have 2 young children, and to being able to hold myself to a certain standard, which I do. I hold myself to a high standard, and I got to make sure that I uphold that. And that's a big thing for me, is being a guy that, upholds himself to a high standard, and never, letting guys like him get under your skin, because that's bullcrap.
Standing back left.
Martinzi Johnson, the undefeated. Draymond Green in the past has called for the term owners to be done away, just because it gives these people this owner mentality, looking at players not as people but as kind of assets. With the incident that took place yesterday, do you think that gives further credence to what he's been saying as far as how maybe owners see athletes just because of the name that they're given? Yeah,
I mean, not everyone, not all of them, but certain ones, yes. And I can say for sure that guy makes me feel like that. Mark Stevens, whoever his name is, makes me feel like he's one of those guys. And Draymond with that, and I remember him saying that. I believe it's true. It's definitely, we call it the board of governors, but people in the world, we call it ownership, but it should be changed. And a guy like that definitely shows, that's what he feels to me.
Michael on the right.
Kyle, Michael Grange from Sportsnet. How were you able to kind of separate yourself in that moment and quickly get back to what you were doing on the floor? And when did you begin to realize how big a moment you were kind of got caught up in?
I think whatever happened, and I was still, I was furious. I'm not gonna lie. It took me a couple minutes to kind of, I think it was a foul. The ball came in play. I was still thinking about it. And the foul was called, and I believe we called a timeout. And I was pretty upset. And Marc Gasol and kind of came into me. Look, kind of, come on, we need you. Kind of come back. Kind of, they'll handle it. And Freddie and Kawhi and those guys, Danny, kind of, like, don't try to come back here. We need you to stay in this moment and understand the situation that we were in as a basketball game. And that's what it's about. It's about us winning the basketball game. It definitely kind of brought me back quicker. And understand. I didn't realize, I mean, I knew it would be a big deal, but I didn't know it would be as big of a deal as him being a part of the group that, writes the checks. And that makes it even more of a place where he should know, this is what happens when you sit courtside. It's a possibility that a guy's trying to make a hustle play. If Mark Davis wasn't in the way, I think I would have saved it. It just happens, and you can't show. I mean, you can do what you want, and obviously he did what he wanted to do at that moment, and he wanted to, push me and curse at me.
Slightly off topic or different topic would be going in. People come out to Oracle. You want to get one. That's the goal. Always on the road. How greedy are you guys about an opportunity to get two?
We got to go out there and do our job. We got to continue to be better as a basketball group. We watched film this morning, and we found a lot of mistakes that we made. I think we got to continue to just stay in the moment, continue to push the pace, and continue to play defense the way we know how to play defense, and try to do what we can do, and control what we can control.
Tim, standing in the back right.
Kyle, Tim Reynolds with the AP, kind of a two-parter. When LeBron came out earlier today and said, okay, cool, but don't stop here, as far as the reaction, what did that mean to you as far as that kind of support? And secondly, for as angry as you were last night, is it kind of a different anger today that you guys won a finals game at Oracle and you had 23 and the guys played great, and this person's actions have kind of become the story of the finals at this point?
The one thing about Brian, he's always been an activist, and he's always been there. But he's unbelievable with this. And I sent a message to him. He sent one back, and I thanked him because he's one of the biggest athletes and most vocal guys that we have out there. And his just how his social activism has been amazing. And he sticks up for his fellow players, and he always does the right thing, and that's the one thing about him. He's been doing the right thing in his whole career, and it means a lot. It really does mean a lot to be able to have the support, a guy like him and other players also reaching out and having support. And it sucks that this has to take the front page of the kind of the finals. It's been a fun finals. It's been a competitive finals. And it really sucks that this has to, take part and had to be a part of it. For me, this would be my last, time talking about it and, dealing with it, because it's here and it's now, and hopefully the NBA does more and continue to move forward with this. But it sucks because, at the end of the day, we just want to play basketball. We're playing basketball and we're trying to win a championship. And our family and our friends are, supporting us and watching us, and our colleagues are watching, and the game takes a little bit of a backseat because of this, and it sucks. But we'll get back and we'll have our conversations today about it, and hopefully the league does what they suppose. Hopefully they do what I think they should do. Hopefully, and we'll get back and focus for the game tomorrow.
One quick follow: Has that person reached out to you or made any attempt to reach out to you, as far as you know?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't think there's any. For me personally, I don't know him. I don't care to know him. He showed his true colors at the time, and you show what you're really about at that time in that moment, and that's not. Oh, you get the reaction of everyone else saying this, that, the other. That's kind of the whole. You show what you really are, and for me, if that happened to me, hey, you okay? You good? And move on. But at that moment, the heat of the moment, you really, when the pressure and the tightness is on you, you show who you really are.
Kyle, thanks. Kyle, Sean Gregory, Time Magazine. What was your reaction when you found out that Mark Stevens, the guy who pushed you, was an owner, part owner of the team?
Unbelievable. Even worse. Even worse. I mean, you should understand, this is what happens. It's basketball. I'm competing. I'm trying to save a basketball. I'm trying to help my team get a possession. And it just sucks, man. It just sucks that you got people like that.
Melissa Rowland, The Guardian. You said that you hope the league does what you'd like them to do. I'm curious, what do you want them to do, first of all? And then second of all, you mentioned you thought about your children. Marcus Gasol kind of talked you down. Was there a moment where that could have gone another way? How did you kind of, keep your cool and restrain yourself?
I think what I think and what I feel is a guy like that shouldn't be a part of our league. being honest with you, that's my personal opinion. That's just how I feel. And you know, we've had situations like this before, and it's, you know, and the league's done the right thing, and that's protecting the players and protecting the image of the league. And the second part, yeah, it could have gone the other way. It definitely could have gone bad. But you know, I'm bigger than him as a person. My kids are more important to me than he is to me. So I got to make sure that I always, you know, think for my kids first, and that's what it's all about.
Last two in the back, and then Phil here in the front.
Cameron Buford here, LA News Observer. Hey, Kyle, kudos to you on, number one, how you controlled yourself, controlled your emotions.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the W last night.
Thank you.
How can Klay wasn't playing yesterday? How does Klay's absence impact the performance yesterday? And then what do you think he's supposed to play tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Klay's how he can impact the game tomorrow?
Well, it takes a all-star, all-NBA guy off the floor. that's one. It made Steph be a lot more aggressive, and still having 47 points, doing everything he could possibly do to help his team win the game. I think Klay is going to come out and be aggressive and be himself. The one thing about Klay, he brings defense, he brings offense, he brings just that extra swag that they have as a team, and as an individual competitor. He's one of the toughest guys out there.
Phil in the front.
Hey, Kyle. Phil Barber, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. Just to clarify a couple points, when you were chasing that ball out of bounds, did one of the fans, maybe the woman, slap or try to catch the ball or something? And go ahead.
I didn't see that. I hit the ball. I was trying to just dive and save it, and I made a good save. It just happened to hit the official, that was Mark Davis, that was standing there, and he was standing out of bounds, so it was a good call by him out of bounds.
And then the other thing, you spent a good while during that timeout talking to the officials. What were you advocating for at that time? For
him to be gone. I mean, he shouldn't, at that moment, it should have been taken care of right away. You know, I'm not the guy that's, I understand, listen, I love our fans. We have great fans. But for you to push me, to curse at me, and to say things to me, that's intolerable at all. He should not, and at that moment I wanted it to be taken care of. But, you know, we're discussing it now. You know, hopefully things, you know, get taken care of. I appreciate the Warriors again for the apology, the NBA for stepping up, and, you know, we'll see what happens from there.
Thank you, Kyle.